of that in terms of, so you have this idea and you read the book, and so how did you make that jump into starting the business? Did you keep your job for a certain amount of time and then jump in, and then how did you start to use the resources in order to, areas where perhaps from a software perspective, an R&D perspective, perhaps where you didn't have that more traditional technology background in terms of particularly around commercialization of technology and and then also just general business entrepreneurial type of skill set in terms of fundraising, things like that. How did you start to put all that together?
Yeah, so I had the idea that I wanted to set up a company, didn't know what it was about. And I moved from a pharma company into a biotechnology company that a friend had set up near Cambridge at the time. And this was really for me. He said, "Oh, Han, come and join us," at the very early days. And I said, "Yeah, great. I'm a research scientist. What am I supposed to do?" "Oh, you'll be our director of business development." I'm like, "Really? Why?" He said, "Yeah, because you speak 4 languages." And it's like, that is not going to help me. And it really, I don't think that would ever help me. But we were all naive. He did his first company, and absolutely a lot of respect for him just doing that. And I joined him a few years in after I said, "No, I'm not going to be your business development director because, I really don't know how I can help you here." But a couple of years in, I did join him. I became their scientific director of business development, so very much in between the two. And I decided that was my learning ground. So I could learn from him. He'd raise some finance. And that company at that time was 1999, 2000, went through their IPO. They raised 125 million in that IPO. And I was in there in sort of middle senior management, could look exactly at how things were being done. And I learned a lot from everyone who was working there. All the people obviously in finance and HR, how to do payroll, legal, HR. And I decided this is going to be my learning patch. This is where I'm going to pick up on things. And I do remember, obviously there's a time that my friends were doing MBAs and things. And I was thinking, should I do an MBA? And I was reading, I'd never read the FT before, and I was reading the FT front to back, trying to understand everything. But it was my real eye-opener. This was my on-the-ground learning experience. And I do remember there's one anecdote that for me was actually quite important. It's so interesting because I forgot the name of the person. I don't remember who it was I spoke to, but I went to a seminar at the Royal Institution where a lot of women were actually speaking about research, science, and businesses. So I spoke then to one of the female speakers, very charismatic person, and I said, I have this idea in my head. I think I can do something, but should I do an MBA first? And she said very quickly, she said, if you got an MBA, just go and do it. If you got an idea, don't do the MBA. Just go and run and do it. And that's essentially, I followed her advice, and that was gold for me. That was the advice I needed. Like, yeah, I could have gone to school more. I could have learned more. But at the end of the day, you've got to hit the ground running and just do it. Ask your friends, ask for advice, and go. And that's what I did. And that was then around 2000. I set up that first company, and that was a massive learning experience.